fault. Gotcha. No. Yeah, we could do this. I just was kind of, no. Let me get the other one. So I had a better one. Just gotta find it. All right. All right, so I'll do this one instead. All right, so yeah, we have this stuff in it, but it'll still work. So we have this here. We have the background image in here. Everything's fine. Now I'm gonna lock the camera. Very important, because if you don't lock it, if I don't lock it and I move, then I'm outside of it. So I'll get inside and I'm locking it. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to create a ground plane. So we're going to hit a grid, control click, and now it's in the middle of our world, right? The grid's right here, and the background image is constant. Now, what we're going to do is, I don't know, forget what class y'all took. Now, if y'all remember this in Maya, we kind of did something similar where we had to line this up, all right? So whatever your image is, we got to line this up with that image. So you're gonna have to like skew it and kind of like move around and try to find the way to make this match the perspective right here. And what we're trying to do is get this to line up in between, let's say, these two edges correctly. And then we can lay down the floor. All right, so I'm turning it a little. I'm getting close, I'm getting there. But you kind of gotta like find that sweet spot. When you find it, and you get it, then it's all good. I think this might be it. All right. It's really close. All right, almost there. All right, I think this is good. All right, so once you get it to a part like this, to a point like this where it's looking good and you love it. First of all, if you love it, you should save it because you know it'll crash. Oh no, well, Houdini's kind of good, but still think about it like it's Maya, right? And it's just gonna hate on you and crash. So because I like this angle and I love it, I'm going to unlock this so that it stays in this position, right? As long as I don't move this thing. I wonder if there is a way to lock. Now I think about it. I don't think there is, but oh yeah, look, lock parameter. Psh, Houdini does it again. All right, so can't mess that up. Cool. Um, so we have our grid, and now we're gonna do this. So this is our grid, our ground. Now I'll do file, right? And then I'll go in here, and now I'll go get my combi van, right? Now, if you look, you see how it came in the world, right? Super big. Look at the size right here. So we'll do this, right click, transform, right? Hook this up to here, hook this up to here. Now let's get back in our camera. Now let's transform this. Let's take it down. Look, it says 0.05. Let's do 0.1. And 3. Okay, that looks like it might be about right. Okay, display flags here. File. Geo. We have the grid object. Cool. All right. So we have this set up right here. Now, let's get a couple of materials on it, right? So let's go to materials. Let's go to principal for this. And this one right here, remember if I double click and go inside, this one, let's name it van material. Ground material. Let's make the ground one. Let's choose this right here. Let's give it a little bit of something. A little spice on it. In the van, let's do this. I don't know. Some with me in purple. Okay, so we have our combi, we have this, and we could even do like this too. We could just drag it over just quickly. Nice, right? So we got our purple van on our ground that we aligned in here, and everything's locked. Cool. So now, actually, let's add in a light too. So I'll go get a environment light, control click. Environment lights in the house now. Let's click this and do this. Let's go to the garage. All right. Now go over for garage. And you know, we have these lights coming over here. So let's place something over there. I'm gonna go get a get a point light. Hell, let's do it. Oh wait, I didn't mean to choose camera. Choose point light. Control clicked on point light. So it put me in the light. So now, since I'm in the light, I'll hold this right here. So I'll lock it. And I'll just put myself on this side, right? Because that's where all those lights in our scene right here will be. Now I'll get out the light. So I'll unclick the lock. So it like kind of kicks me out. And I just kind of look at this thing and maybe I'll put them down a little more. And also what I'll do is I'll do this. I'll take that. Well, you know, let's see what the render looks like. Let's go in our render view. And actually, before we do that, now let's go render, create render node, mantra. Remember, we go to our out context. So this is where we render. So this is just a default one for us. I'm going to get inside this camera and render. All right, the light is super harsh, so I'll just click on it and it's at 13 now. Let's take it to 7, half for this. Let's take it to 5. Let's do this environment light. We can rotate this on the Y just to see kind of how it works. So let's just do 30 because it could have a different view. And also sometimes I like to do this too. I'll go like this and that's 0. and then I'll do like 45, and I'll click on this. I'll do 90, click on this, and I'll do like 150, click on this. Oh, wait, click on this. I'll do like 180, click on this. I'll do 220, click on this. So now you see how it was like rotating before? I mean, I can continue to do that, but I'll just do this kind of to kind of try to find a nice position, I guess. So let's say I like this one, right? So I'll go back. Let's see, it's like 150. Cool. So I have environment light, I have a point light, and just because that light's right here, put it right here. Now I'm gonna do alt. Oh wait, I tried to do it in the viewport. Alt left click to get another one. Remember, this is just to represent those street lights, and I'll do another one. Now let's go back in our render view. Snapshot and look. So this is here. So I just turned it down from like 7 to 4.2, right? Just to get this. Okay, perfect. I kind of like it, right? So I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna go to my grid and I'll stretch this like this. Let's look at it through the camera. Okay, perfect. Let's do one more. So we see this. I don't like the rotation of this just a little bit. I feel like it looked like it changed, right? All right, cool. So we have our environment light, a grid, a combi, and our camera. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna go to my renderer now. This right here. And I'll just make another one and I'll call this spelled it with the Z to be fancy. So we have ground shadows, right? And when it comes to these ground shadows, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the objects and I'm going to delete this star, which means everything. And I'm going to go to force objects and I'm going to get this grid, right? Now, something called phantom. What phantom is it renders. So I'm going to make this a phantom object, which means it's going to render like it's in the scene, but it's not there. So it's going to have like the shadows, it'll have reflections. If I had a mirror right here, you'd be able to see it, but you won't see the van. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to first force phantom and I'm going to get the combi. And we have our candidate lights, which that'll get all the lights, but I don't know. I just think it's better because this is like, all right, we're definitely rendering these. So now we have these lights right here. All right. So this right here is called ground shadows. And if I go over here to the render view, this lets you know which render node is being rendered. So ground shadows is the one I want. So if I press render, let's see what happens. So what it did is it rendered out this, but we have this right here, which is our ground shadows. But we still have this plane right here and it looks kind of nasty. But we'll deal with this later. But one thing we do need to do is go here to images, go to extra image planes, and we need to click on something. We'll click on this right here, which is going to give us an extra image plane. Let me stop it. And we're going to click on this and we're going to call it direct shadow matte, right? So direct shadow matte, direct shadow. Okay. And that's about it for this. But let's play do a render, another one. Okay. Now what it gives me is this. If I go to direct shadow, it gives me this alpha right here, which I can use now later on for putting the shadows over the photo. All right. So now let's render the van. So we'll take this. I just copied this one. We'll go to and we'll name this van geo uh it's called just van geometry. All right. So let's click on this and I'll go to objects over here. I could also make a new mantra. I just sometimes copy it. So let's go to force objects, and instead of the grid, I'm going to go to get the combi and the force phantom. I'll use the floor just because sometimes you can get like bounce reflections and stuff like that off the ground. The lights stay the same. Let's see what we have. Let's go to render view. Let's go to our van render. Oh, it came out direct shadow. Oh yeah. So this is happening because I need to go here to this camera, go to the view, and turn off this. Now I'll get this. Okay. So we have the van by itself. Cool. And now also what we'll do for this is we will go to where's it at? Our out context. Go to the van geometry. When we go to rendering, I mean not rendering, images, extra image planes, we're gonna take away this direct shadow. So we'll click on this X right here to eliminate it. And we'll press plus to add a fresh new one. And we'll name this one um, sorry, forget this one. Direct lighting. So direct comp. And then I'll just do another one, which I'll call this one will be where's reflectivity? This right here. All right. So cool. We have these two mantra planes. Mantra nodes, and they're both doing something different. So one's rendering out the van, and the other one is rendering out the ground plane by itself. And now all we have to do is render it. So we right click, we type in merge. Now you can render a node just by clicking on it and click and render, and it'll do this one. And then you click on the other one, it'll do that one. But if I make a merge right here, and I select both of these and I connect them, and then I go over here to controls and I click frame by frame, we'll do this frame and then that frame, then this frame, then that frame. Or you can do node by node, which will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it'll do it like that. So we'll do this. We'll click on render, and this will show us the progress, and we'll see what happens when it's done.